Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week I'm taking a look at a brilliant scope-mounted lamping kit from Wicked Lights. But before that, I'm back out on the squirrel feeders and the bushy-tails are back with a vengeance. Right, I'm out on one of my woodland permissions today and I'm going to be targeting squirrels at a feeding station. It's actually a feeder that I shot very hard through the summer months, and we actually featured it in a couple of episodes. I think it's back in June or July. We shot a lot of squirrels from there through the summer to the point that action dried right up, presumably because the resident squirrel population had been hit so hard. Now what happens here is that the landowner actually keeps the feeders going, so he keeps them topped up, and recently he's noticed that the feed started to go down very quickly again, which implies that those squirrels are back again, so he's given me a call to come and have another go at them. Now these woods are managed for timber and for conservation, and the squirrels impact on both of those interests. Now from the timber side of things, it's their bark stripping that's the real problem. The trees here, the hardwood trees, that includes hazel, oak, ash, there's also some willow and poplar here, and all of those species are hit very hard by the squirrels. When they strip the bark, it damages the trees, it can kill them in the worst case, but in the best case it deforms them and they don't grow properly. Now from a conservation side of things, the owner of the woods here likes to manage the woods as sympathetically as possible to nurture native species. Now squirrels are impacting significantly on those, either through preying on them, in the case of birds, their eggs and young, but also through monopolising natural food sources. The squirrels here are absolutely clobbering things like the hazelnuts through the summer and acorns and beech mast through the autumn, and it's just not giving those native species a look in. So anything that we can do to keep their numbers down is beneficial. To very quickly run through the kit, gun today that I've got is the Daystate Red Wolf. Now it is FAC rated, but here today I've turned the power down to low power, which amounts to about 16 foot-pounds. We're only shooting over, well, it's not much more than 20 metres, so that's more than adequate. The scope on there is the usual MTC Mamba light, and that's held on with my usual choice of sports match mounts, just because I know that they're going to hold everything dead sturdy and dead straight. Ammo choice today, I often get asked what pellets I'm using. Today it's the Daystate Rangemaster Sovereigns. It's just a 16 grain pellet, but with this producing around about 16 foot-pounds, 2.2 calibre, they seem to group perfectly well, and in fact I've had pretty good results with them at the full power, which is closer to 35 foot-pounds. So they are relatively light, but they're still grouping pretty well, and it also means that they shoot nice and flat. So that's the kit and the tactics. Let's get into the hide, keep quiet, and hopefully we'll shoot a few squirrels. Right, well, I've settled into the hide, so I don't want to make too much noise now, but if past experience here is anything to go by, the squirrels are actually pretty bold. This hide has been up for months now, so I'm sure they'll be taking that for granted. We've got a lovely sunny autumn's afternoon, but fortunately where we are, there's still a fair amount of leaf cover, so it's nice and shady, and in fact, I'm not even going to mess about putting my head net on for now, unless we notice that squirrels are clearly spooking away. I'm going to keep it off and just rely on the fact that I've got the hide net and the shade here to keep me concealed. Well, there's the first one. It looked for a moment there like we were going to have a dead one stuck in the feed tray, but after a few kicks it did eventually flop out. Now I could see through the scope that one was hit very cleanly, right between the eye and ear, so although it did kick a few times, that was one very dead squirrel. Well, now we do have a dead one stuck in the feeder. That was a very fidgety squirrel, so what I did was the usual thing of just taking my time and waiting for it to settle. When squirrels are coming to a feeder like this, there is just no point at all in being in a hurry. It pays so much more to be patient and wait until you get that easy static target. Well, that one certainly wasn't afraid of the dead one in the feeder. I couldn't tell whether it was trying to push it out of the way to get to the grain or whether it was getting amorous with it, but either way it certainly wasn't frightened. Also, it was another fidgety squirrel, so again I just took my time, waited for it to settle on top of the feeder and got myself another easy, clean kill. And that was another one with a very clean headshot. It did dangle for a couple of seconds, but squirrels often do that when you hit them in the brain. It was certainly very dead. Well, that one just froze, staring dead at me, which unfortunately for him presented me with a very easy still shot at its head. Again, it dangled for a few seconds before it dropped, but that's just a muscle reflex, and it's usually a clear indication of a very solid smack to the brain. Right, well, it's been about an hour since I shot that last squirrel. It's really gone very quiet since then. We haven't seen a sign of one. And to be honest, I'm starting to get uncomfortable. Been sat in here for a few hours and I could really do with stretching my legs, so it seems like a good time to wrap it up. We've had a decent session though, we've made a reasonable bag, and I think it really goes to show just how effective these feeding stations are. Now, I usually swear by peanuts. This one's only got cut maize and wheat in it, and although there are still a few acorns around and still a bit of beech mast, it's still pulling in those squirrels. I really don't think for a moment that we've shot all of the squirrels in this vicinity this afternoon, so I'll certainly be coming back again for another go at them. More squirrels from the feeding station there, and no doubt more still to be had. Now it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. The online abuse of hunters and shooters is still going on, but now there's a new way to report it. The Countryside Alliance has launched an online portal where you can submit evidence of threats and bullying on the web and social media. This comes after a poll revealed that 62% of field sports followers have experienced some form of abuse. If you've got something to submit, just head to the website on screen now. There's a new airgun club near Lichfield. Blackbrook is now open for business and held its first club shoot on the 4th of this month. First place was Red Gallagher with 37, in second was the Airgun Show's very own Andy Watkins with 36, and third was Josh Hurd with 35. There are plenty more competitions to come from the club, as well as Midland field target shoots. Introduce someone new to shooting and they could win a prize. It's currently Take a Mate Shooting Month, run by Basque in the name of getting new recruits into the sport. Basque is holding a range of competitions and special events, including group clay lessons, days shooting with Basque coaches, and even the chance to win a Browning shotgun. If you want to participate, check out the details on Basque's Facebook page. And finally, it's now less than 100 days until the British Shooting Show. Taking place once again at the NEC, the show unites the biggest names in the global industry under one roof. Whether it's rifles, shotguns, airguns, scopes or clothing, there'll be something for everyone. Don't forget to buy your tickets online beforehand and beat the ticket office queues. Just head to shootingshow.co.uk to get yours. That was the Airgun Show news.
It's absolutely pouring down with rain outside, so I'm afraid we've been forced to do this week's review indoors. But we've got something very interesting to look at nonetheless. It's the Wicked Lights A67 IC Predator Gunlight Kit from Scott Country. The package costs £249.99, but you do get a heck of a lot for your money. The lamp is housed inside a tough aircraft grade aluminium body. It's not the smallest of lamps and it weighs around 445 grams with the battery fitted. Nonetheless, it hasn't made this combo feel unduly top heavy. The Wicked Light is extremely well made, but its real party piece is the ability to shift between different coloured beams simply by turning the side dial. That means there are no external filters to dim the beam and no interchangeable components to drop and lose in the dark. There is an infrared version available, but this model shifts between white, green and red light. It can throw a beam out to 500 metres, with the white beam tending to be best for general use and the coloured options enabling you to mix it up when targeting lamp-shy quarry. Apart from being able to change colour, you can also adjust the intensity of the beam to exactly how you want. Press the tail switch to turn it on and then turn the switch to either wind the power up or down. It even comes back on at the power setting you had it on after being switched off. The kit includes an alternative tail switch that's connected to a stock mounted control, so you can turn the lamp on and off without having to adjust your hold. It comes with a variety of attachment options, but most people will probably want to use the Velcro to prevent the elastic strap from pulling down on the barrel. The best thing about the remote control is that it also features a power dial, so you can wind the power of the beam up or down on the fly. All those neat features count for nothing unless you're able to get the beam correctly aligned with the scope. And the adjustable mount supplied with the wicked light enables you to adjust both horizontal and vertical angle to get it perfectly aligned. The connector fits both 1-inch and 30mm tubes and boasts slick, quick release, attachment and removal. And the adjustment doesn't end there. Turn the head of the torch and you can shift the beam from a tight spot that's excellent for long-range spotting to a wide flood that lends itself brilliantly to close-up jobs that require a wide pool of light. Light spillage is minimal on all settings, but the lamp even comes supplied with a stretch-fit rubber halo hood to keep the beam edge sharp. The unit runs on a single battery, but it's supplied with 2 so you can carry a spare, plus you get a charger. Runtime is up to 3 hours on full power, and charging takes between 2 and 6 hours depending on the state of the battery. The indicator light on the charger switches from red to green to show when the charge is complete. This is an extremely high quality lamping kit that covers everything from close range ratting with an airgun to long range foxing if you also shoot a powder burner. It is also a very comprehensive package and includes just about everything you could need for your after dark lamping sessions, and it even comes supplied in a tough carry case. So that's the wicked light from Scott Country. The torch and controls are covered by a lifetime warranty, and there's a 3-year warranty on the LED and electronic internals. So far I've only had time to use it for a couple of short ratting sessions, but it's fared well and I'm looking forward to really putting it through its paces through the winter.
Look out for the new and improved Airgun Shooter magazine, packed full of technique, gear and insight from some of the best shooters in the industry. Brand new look and free video content. Pick up your copy today in stores or online.
That's all for this week, but we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, it's time you joined the organisation that works to promote and protect your sport.